What's up, you guys? You are watching Bad Dog Podcast. Stay tuned. You are now listening to Bad Dog Podcast. What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in to our first episode here at Bad Dog Podcast. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Troy McDaniel. I used to be in prison, but now I'm free. I'm one of the graduates out of the Positive Change Dog program, and we just started our first podcast, and you guys are a part of it, so thank you. Truly blessed. So what I do here at Pack Runner, I'm more of a behavior coach. Dog behavior coach is something like a dog trainer, but kind of not. And I'll explain. See, we help people with their dog's behavior, and we focus more on their personality. We work on their energy to where they can project the most confident and the most efficient leader possible. So that's what it's all about, and that's what we do here. So today I just want to talk to you guys about rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is one of the things that the dog program that I was in helped me to understand and rehabilitate me. And so one of the main things about rehabilitation is the different options. When I was in my bad life doing a whole bunch of stuff that I had no business doing, I felt like I didn't have a lot of options. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of the stuff that I seen in my natural neighborhood, the stuff that I seen going on around me, I felt like those were my only options. And so those became my solutions to all of my problems. So I talk a little bit more about this in my book. I've written a book called The Bad Dogs Experience is the Best Mentor. So if you guys haven't read the book or you haven't checked it out, you guys can go to Amazon right now, look it up. But yeah, the first thing is decisions. Like going to the dog program, it gave me an outlet. It gave me the outlet to deal with dogs, to put my energy and focus into dogs and to understand them a little bit better. And in that program, understanding the dogs a little bit better, it helped me to understand myself better. And so one of the things about being rehabilitated is that you always have that choice to always go backwards. And what I mean by that is you're never fully rehabilitated unless you put in the work to keep the momentum going. So like, for an example, like I used to sell drugs. Like I used to sell a lot of drugs, and like selling drugs, part of that was because I needed money. We all need money. I need money. I want this. I want that. And so one of the things about being in that life is that you learn how to make quick money fast. And what any drug dealer tell you, as quick as you make the money is as quick as the money is gone. And so this was a natural cycle that, I grew up in, and going into the dog program, it showed me different tools and different, scenarios that I could put myself in and kind of think my way out of. And so that's what part of being rehabilitated, that's what it's about. It's about knowing that there's other options besides the options that you have already been taken. So like, for an example, like selling drugs was option I did because I needed money. But once I went in the dog program and I started reading and educating myself, I learned how business works. I learned how you can, buy stuff for a small amount of money and you can make a profit off of it, but not necessarily. I know that's drugs. What's this guy talking about? But the stuff that I'm talking about is stuff that's actually going to help people. Stuff that's actually going to be beneficial to people's lives, not, harm people, harm their families, and put their lives in jeopardy and cause them to go down the wrong path. The other thing is violence. I was a huge huge violent person. Like, I know for those who know me, I'm very quiet, I don't really talk much. But again, like, those are the worst people. Like, just think about it. Like, if you did something to me, I would sit down and I will ponder on that for weeks, months. Like, it's almost like the John Wick, effect. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the focus. I used to have the focus, and I would, like, not exaggerating, like, I'll figure out like where your mama stay, where your girlfriend stay, like like it got serious with me. And so, like, that's another thing that I had to learn, that you don't always have to solve stuff with violence, because again, that sort of energy is just going to breed more energy, and it's going to lead you in places that you don't want to be. Like in my case, I ended up in prison and I didn't just, go to prison for, 6 months. I went to prison for like 7 years. I did 7 years of hard time for gun violence. I used a gun in the commission of a crime, and it cost me 7 years of my life. Unfortunately, fortunately, the person who I had the violence against, they still live. And I'm glad to know that. I'm glad to see that. I haven't came in contact with them or anything like that. But I know that they're still living. They're still alive. So that's always a good thing. And so the third, last thing that I had to learn how to stop blaming people. I used to blame everybody for my downfalls and the situations that I was in, but really I always had the tools. Like even if you're listening to this right now, like, you always have the tools to change something right now about your life. It could be something small or it could be something drastic, but the whole main thing is to have a goal. You need a goal, and to have that self-awareness that, okay, look, I'm in this situation and then this keeps happening. So what can I do to change this situation? What environment am I in that continuously cause this reaction to happen? And so once you put your place in a mental state to where you can kind of figure that stuff out, it becomes a lot easier to navigate through life. One of the things in my book I talk about, is, once you have that freedom to know that, every decision you make isn't a bad decision. It's just a decision. And I think a lot of times in our culture, especially us being African Americans, we're always, looked at upon making the bad decision. Oh, he made a bad decision. Oh, he's making bad decisions. It's not that we're making bad decisions. It's just that we're trying to go through the flow and the rhythm of life and figure out what works and what doesn't work. Unfortunately, a lot of us get stuck doing a lot of things that don't work. And that comes from not having, like I said, different options, educating themselves, learning something new that's not going to keep repeating themselves. And so the second thing I also had to learn was I had to hang around people that was like-minded, man. Like, it's a lot like being, alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic and then you go through rehab, a lot of your buddies that you're used to drinking with, you can't really socialize with them. It's not even being fake, it's not being bougie. It's just doing yourself justice. You got to look at it like this. If I'm going to hang around a bunch of people that continue to do the same stuff that I'm not doing no more, but I used to do, then one, I'm going to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to be lying to myself, and I'm going to feel hella fake because I'm trying to keep up with a crowd that I'm not even a part of anymore. The second thing is they're going to look at me in a different light that's going to make them uncomfortable because they haven't made that switch yet. They're not ready. They're not ready to give up alcohol. They're not ready to give up drugs. So for you to be around them and constantly be a reminder of what they could be, but they're not yet, it's gonna turn into negative energy, bro. Trust me. It's going to turn into negative energy. You're going to get into a lot of conflicts. And then eventually you're not even going to be able to hang around those people no more. Like, for me, like, that's not to say that, like, some of my friends I grew up with that I still don't talk to them or socialize with them. Like, a lot of dudes I used to hang around in the streets now, like, they're older. Like, they got kids. Like, they have a whole different life. You know what I'm saying? They have a whole different outlook on life. Some of them got businesses. I still, reach out, talk to them. And, we're just trying to figure it out. Like, that's the main thing. And our whole thing is, if you're not putting yourself in a position to try to figure out a different maneuver of life, then bro, hanging around you is a waste of time. You know, one of the one of the things I mentioned in my book is that millionaires don't hang around, you know, people with $10,000 thoughts. You see what I'm saying? It does them no justice. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that, you know, they're bougie or, you know, anything like that. It's just, if I'm thinking on this level and you're thinking on this level, the only thing that you can do is force me to think on your level. Even if we argue, even if you get into an argument with somebody that you know, subconsciously, like, bro, I'm way sharper than this guy. Like, why am I sitting here arguing with this guy? Like, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, I don't care what nobody tells you. Like, that's not what you want to do. And so I had to learn that. And it's hard, you know, because I got a lot of friends that, you know, I grew up with. Like, we used to do a lot of stuff together. Like, we, you know, slept at each other's house. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, bought each other food, you know, celebrate each other's birthdays, even when our closest immediate families didn't really acknowledge that kind of stuff. So it's hard, but at the same time, you have to look at the bigger picture. You see what I'm saying? Do I want to grow into, you know, something successful, or do I want to continue to be at the level that I'm at? It's all about leveling up. It's always about leveling up. Even if you look around you right now and you think about how the world was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, bro, the first Metro phone, the first Nokia, I can remember the first Nokia, it was bunk. Like, it was so cheap. Like, it had this little button at the top that you can click 2 times and you had a flashlight. Like, bro, and we thought that was fascinating stuff. But look at technology now, bro. Look at all the stuff that you could do with a phone now. Like, they got all of these artificial assistants, bro, that's at your fingertips. Like, you can ask Cortana, you can ask Siri, you can ask them anything pertaining to business, anything pertaining to knowledge, bro, and they're gonna give you resources, like, right there. So, like, there's really no excuses of why, you know, you can't pick up the phone and figure out, okay, what are people buying? What in this market sells the most? How do you really market? What's advertising? Like, it's no excuse, bro. Like, you can really, like, sit down and you can get your mind together and you can, you know, come up with a masterpiece. They got the technology to do it. And you got to think, all of this technology, somebody had to have sit down and thought to have make this stuff in the first place. So ask yourself, like, who in their right mind would sit down and think of making an artificial assistant, bro, that anybody can talk to and they'll just give them whatever they want? It could have been your idea. Hell, it could have been my idea. But again, like, technology, it moves fast. So if you're not already on, you know, this train of learning more, then you're always going to be stagnated. The last thing that I had to do, which helped me a lot, was I had to grow confidence. I had to be, you know, I had to have the courage to be disciplined, not to go backwards. You see what I'm saying? Like I used to smoke weed a lot. Like, I used to be a big pothead. Like, you could ask any one of my closest friends that was around me, like, we used to blow it down. Like, Smokey the Bear used to cuss us out. Like, we used to smoke big trees. But eventually I had to really sit down and I had to ask myself, what is this doing for me? Is it making my situation better, or is it making my situation harder? And when I really sat down, I did the research on what it does, you know, to your brain and your mechanics, you know, all your little, you know, tools and fuse in your brain. When I started seeing, like, what that actually does and started really seeing the results, like honestly, like, I would smoke and, like, something that shouldn't take a lot of brain power would take a lot just to figure out. And, like, when I got to that realization, like, that scared me. It really scared me. And then, like, you got to think, bro, like, there's kids, like, there's 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds who's way more advanced, you know, mentally than a lot of, you know, grown-ups. That's scary. And they're only and they're only advanced because of technology. This technology has, you know, empowered a lot of us, like, a lot of us. And it's only right that you take advantage of it. Even if you're one of those people, bro, that don't like technology, oh, this is stupid. Why do I have to learn how to use a computer? Well, because the world is using computers now. So you can either get with it or get left without it. And a lot of the times, the people that get left without it are the people that get left behind and they struggle. And you don't want to be one of those people. You want to use this to the best of your ability and to get you further in life. And so that was the biggest thing I had to learn. I had to learn, not to always care about what the majority thinks. Because again, like I said, the majority of the people that's going to tell you that something is wrong or something is bad, they really don't know. They're just scared. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be confident in yourself. You got to self-talk. You got to say, hey, self, what am I doing today? How am I going to use this 24 hours today? What is it that we can accomplish in the next day, the next week, the next month that's going to set us apart from the rest? That's the type of stuff that you got to sit down and you got to really focus on. And you got to have courage. Bro, you know how much courage it takes just to be different? Not even different, but to be yourself. I hate when people always, girls just always tell me all the time, oh, you different. No, I'm not different. I'm just me. Like, you just used to being around, cats that act all the same and dress the same. And like, I'm just different. Like, I know who I am. And like that, when you lock into that, like I said, like in my book, the world is your playground. When you get into that mode to where there's no such thing as a mistake. I did it, it didn't work. Now I'm figuring out why it didn't work, and I'm doing the research on seeing what will work. That's how you get ahead. It's not about how many, you hear people say that all the time, not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get up. But the main thing is to figure out, why do I keep falling? What is it? Is it my left foot or is it my right foot? Like, what is it? Like, once you figure that out, then stumbling isn't even, a fear anymore. It's just part of the game. And then even when it happens, you get right back up and you keep on moving. So those are the three things that, I wanted to share with y'all is being rehabilitated. You have to have options. You have to learn different stuff. You have to do research. The second thing is you gotta stop blaming other people. You gotta stop being mad because this person has that, this person has that. Like, that's not their fault, bro. Like, they worked hard for their stuff. Like, whatever, regardless of what they may do with what they have, bro. They worked hard for it. They did the mental work and they got it. So if you put the work in, bro, you're gonna get the same stuff, and then people are gonna be saying the same thing about you. Man, why did he have all that? Man, why is he doing all, bruh, he put the work in. Like, don't get mad at him. Like, he deserves it. And when that's the point in life that you want to get to. You want to get to the point in life to where I earned this. It wasn't, given to me. I wasn't expecting this, but I got it anyway. Like that, you don't want that type of stuff. It's like winning the lottery. 80%, I'm gonna say 90% of the people that win the lottery, they go broke within the first year. And that's facts. And it's because people get money that they're not expecting. And when we get money that we're not expecting, we do the same stuff we do with money when we have it on a lower scale. What do? We consume. We go get cars. We go get, shoes. We go get all of this stuff, but we don't really put it into business. We don't put it into, now how can I grow this? How can I make sure that me and my family don't go broke, over time, just spending this money? Like, who do I need to talk to? Do I need to talk to a financial advisor? Do I need to talk to, anybody, bro? Just do your research and it will help you to be more confident. When you do your research, I've grown to know that you become more confident. You become more confident in the moves you make. And when you become confident in that form, ain't nothing you can't do. Like, nothing. Like, you can go buy an island. You know what I'm saying? If you really put your mind to. But again, if you don't know the tools and the pieces to go do that, how you gonna do it? You can't just go steal an island. Like, what you gonna do? So, like, really, like, do your research, put the work in, and don't blame other people. And then the last thing is, bro, have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in yourself. Don't let society tell you what you should be or what car you should be driving or, none of that, bro. You can pick. You can design your own life right now. You see what I'm saying? You can be your, biggest hero. You could be your biggest fan right now, but it starts now. Rehabilitation starts with you. The prison system didn't rehabilitate me. You see what I'm saying? Like I had to put the work in, and then I had to continue to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Thanks for tuning in to my podcast. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and go subscribe, like the video. And I'm going to be dropping podcasts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, I'm going to be dropping podcasts. If you got an Instagram, go ahead and follow me at Troy the Boy _7. That's Troy, TROY, DABOI _7. And go get my book. My book is out right now on Amazon. The ebook is gonna come out on the 7th. So if you're somebody that you're a digital reader, you like to read ebooks and stuff like that, it'll be ready for download on the 7th. But right now you can get the paper copy, and the hard copy I believe is getting printed right now. So I'll be able to let you guys know about that. If you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll have a link so you guys can get 15% off my merch. I got Bad Dog merch for y'all. So make sure y'all go ahead and check that out on my IG page. And yeah, this has been Troy, Bad Dog Podcast, and I'll see you guys next time. Holla.